Good day, everyone. So sorry for joining this late. I should have sent a message before now, but something just came up that I need to address. Can you hear me now? Hello. Okay. So sorry for joining this late. I think I should I should have dropped a message before now. So sorry for joining late. So tonight we'll still be focusing on Microsoft Excel dashboard, just like the one. Okay, thank you for saying yes. So I was actually trying to check that if you can hear me. So we also like tonight will be the end. I was thinking maybe if I have time of scheduling, like just try to structure a project for Microsoft Excel, but unfortunately I was busy throughout today, so I was unable to do that. But immediately we finish the call, maybe like before tomorrow or maybe latest tomorrow, I'm going to try to structure, like to make, like just to draft out what you can do with micro, just like mini projects that can make us to use all the functions and everything that we've learned regarding Microsoft Excel. Then we can proceed to the use of Power BI. Then after Power BI we can move to Python, and from Python to SQL. So tonight I will still just continue on what we've started, just like this. Okay, let me see if I still have the data set here, or let me just click on this if I still have the data. Okay, let me just cancel this. So I'm trying to save the one I have so that I can cancel it and try to. So this is the data set we've been working on, and we've tried to clean this data by trying to, okay, let me just try to, just to make everything a recap. We've tried to clean this data by changing this, by changing M to married here, and also by changing S to single. We've tried to change male and female from M to complete male. And we've tried to do couple of things here, that just like in form of data cleaning, we've tried to check for duplicates. We've also tried to change this like plus 10 mile to more than 10 mile. And we also create another sheet for like pivot table. I believe everybody can still remember how we did this pivot table, and if you don't remember, you can just go ahead to check the previous video, like the first video and the second video. And also we did okay, I think it's just only one that is showing, or let me check. Okay, that shows I did not save it. Okay, I can quickly do that now. So now this one is based on female. We did this based on female incomes and purchase. So the pivot table 2 now will now be, I'm going to prioritize. Okay, let me do for, let me put purchase bike. Let me put purchase bike here, and for this row you can just put, let me put this here. Then this, I can just try to click on insert here to look for a recommended chart that we can use. So we can see here that in this scenario we are trying to check for people that purchase bike, and we are trying to consider the mile, that is the distance. And you can see here that those that have short distance tend to buy bike than others, that is their distance is just from 0 to 1 mile. And you can see that they are the one that have the highest years, so they are the one that tend to purchase bike than the other. So if you see the one of 1 to 2 mile, you can see that this is yes, right? You can see that this yes is smaller than no. And you can see compared to others, look at these numbers of people that purchase bike, and you can see that their mile, their distance are short. So we can also try to, let me rename this to purchase, okay, pivot table 2. So let me also look for another thing here. We've tried to, the first one is on, we've tried to use income and gender to see those that purchase bike, while the second one we have tried to use on the distance, and we see that okay, those that have the short distance, they are the one that tend to prioritize them, or they are the one that buy bike. So I'm also going to look for another thing. Let me see if region is going to work. Okay, so I'm going to move this again here. So here I'm trying to check based on region, so I'm also going to use insert. So I think this is just like the one that is being recommended for this chart. Like, I think Microsoft Excel love this chart, but I can actually change it to another chart sha. So I'm trying to check based on region, so region that purchase bike. And you can see that, we can see that here, we can see the region that love. Okay, let me try to change this. Let me customize. Okay, okay, let me click on design so that I can change if I want to change. Let me see if line chart will work. I don't think line chart is going to work. Let me just go with the one I'm actually using before. So let me create another one. The next one I'm going to do now is, okay, let me just use this as my new sheet here. So I'm going to rename this to be pivot table, pivot table 4. So I will call this pivot table 4. Then what I'm going to do here is I'm going to use age group this time around. So I'm going to use age group. So I want to check the age group, the age bracket, to see those age that purchase bike. So we can see that in this chart, we can see that we have more adult age that tend to purchase bike, because this line represents years. We can see the decline in old age and young age. We can see that it actually go down in the old age and the young age. So definitely people that prioritize bike, they are the adults. So if this company want to look into those that they are going to hire, like those that they really want to sell their product to, they are going to prioritize the adult age than the old and also the young. So their market is coming from the adult age. So I've tried to base my criteria on the region. I've based my criteria on the distance. I've also based my criteria on the females or male, like in terms of gender, and also in terms of their income. So now I'm not going to work on the dashboard. Let me see. So I'm going to bring together all this. So let me just call this dashboard. So this is my dashboard here. So I'm going to highlight this, and I've started building the dashboard. I will just click on view. So clicking on view here, I'm going to remove my grid lines. So I'm just going to uncheck this. So after unchecking the grid line, I'm able to see that there's no more grid lines here. So there's no more grid line. Everything is now plain. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to click on home, then try to fill this color with the kind of color I want. So let me just pick a certain color of my choice. I'm going to pick this color, or let me change this color. Let me just pick this color. And after you've done this, the next thing is to write on this particular stuff. And so you can easily click on this. Okay. So I'm going to pick a white color. So I'm going to increase this size to make it bigger. So this is my sales dashboard. And what I'm going to do now is by carrying all this, I can do that by just copying it. So I'm just going to what I just need to do here is by carrying all this one after the other. So after you've done the uh normal pivot table, what you just need to do is carrying this to your dashboard. So this is the fourth one. You have to resize it so that it's going to fit to the size that you are working with. So all these charts can be changed like depending on the one that really makes sense. So this is the chart here. I'll bring everything onto one space. So this is like process of building a dashboard, right? So then I can create a slicer. So if I create an insert here, I'm going to look for slicer. What slicer is used for is to control the whole uh the whole dashboard. So I'm trying to look for the slicer. Should be okay, this is it. So I'm just going to click on slicer, and here I'm going to click on what I want to. Okay, I think before I can do that I have to click on this. So once I click on this, I'll be able to see. Okay, I can create my slicer based on, okay, let me create on marital income, let me create on education, occupation, homeowners. Don't let me use gender again. I think this is okay. So we are just trying to bring everything here. I think this is too much. I don't think this will really look nice. I don't think this will look nice. So we can equally remove from it. But my own, the reason why I'm doing this is just to explain. So this is like just like a sample of the dashboard, and we can make some certain connection. So we can make connection with, if I click on married now, this married will only affect this particular stuff just because it's the one I clicked before inserting the slicer. So now what I'm going to do is, let me click on insert again. Okay, let me make connection. So I have to click on report connection. Then when I click on report connection, I have to connect everything. So pivot 2, 3, and I think we did up to, okay, how many? So we have pivot 1, okay, we have pivot 1, 2, and 3. So if I click on OK now, so anytime I click on something like this, it's going to take effect in everything. So if you want to check for single, this single is going to affect everything. And if you are checking on married as well, it's going to take effect on, okay, is this working? I can also try to connect this as well. So connection, okay, everything is connected. So if I click on bachelor, bachelor will affect everything. If I click on graduate, I can use graduate to check on the distribution of my data, like what is actually going on in this particular data. If I click on high school, I can use high school to check the growth of those that purchase bike. I can also use partial college to even know, you can see once I click on partial college, we have more no than yes. That is, people that did not go to college, maybe they tend not to have money to buy a bike. And if I click on high school, you can see that we did not even have anything, because those in high school did not have money. But if I click on bachelor, you see that we have more. And if we click on graduate, we also have more. So these are just like basic way you can build a dashboard, and you can make your own to be more beautiful than this, and put in some necessary details that is possible. What you are just trying to do is to summarize the whole thing in your large data set in a way that when people see it, they are going to really understand what, just like this one now. You can send this to anybody that can click on it and interact with your visuals and know exactly what is going on. And in this in this manner, they will be able to see the story that you are telling as fast as possible. So this is just like how to build a dashboard. So I was planning of giving an assessment, like just like a mini project on this before, but I was not really chance to draft it out. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to do it and send it latest tomorrow evening, so that we can do it as mini project. And every the way we are going to, the mode of submission will be like you posting it on your LinkedIn or your Twitter, and then tagging me and also tagging Techie Jones. So you post it, you will tag me, you tag Techie Jones. So I'm going to give the further instruction on the Telegram group. So this is where I'm going to stop. Basically, today is just to finish the dashboard. Then by next class, we are going to continue dashboard. And I said dashboard. By next class, we are going to continue. We are going to start Power BI. And what I'm going to do with Power BI is that I'm going to look for a YouTube videos that explain on how you can install it on your laptop. So once you install it on your laptop, I'm going to send the data I will be using next class, so that if you want to practice, you can practice before the time. So I'll be showing us the interface, then I'll probably start a dashboard with us, so that we can see how we can also build dashboard using Power BI. Power BI is mainly for dashboard, not like Excel. Excel is not commonly used to build a dashboard, but Power BI is, that's what it's been designed for. So we are going to do that next class, and I'm going to share a videos for you to install it before the time. Then I'm also going to give a project on building a dashboard with Microsoft Excel that everybody is going to post in their social media. You're going to tag me, you're going to tag Peggy John, and I'm going to give us a score for doing that. So this is where we will be stopping tonight. So we won't be using the whole time, because this is just all I have for tonight. Or if you have a question, you can ask, so that maybe I can just try to answer it before we end the call. So if you have a question, you can ask. So if we don't have a question, so that I won't be keeping ourselves here. So I'm going to work on the mini project. I'm going to share with us. We are going to share it on our social media. You are going to tag me and tag Techie Jones. And also I'm going to share a video. Okay, I asked this question on the group. I tried to create a pivot table with. So you know what will happen is, try to message me on Telegram and screenshot your visuals so that I can see. Or maybe you can just have one-on-one call where you share your screen with me, so that okay, somebody said he has a question. Okay, so if you have a question, okay, what is the aim of the slicer? The aim of the slicer is to connect all the visuals together. So slicer will help you to make a connection. Like if they want to see something, just like now, they want to interact with these visuals with married, slicer will connect all the visuals together. So when they click on married, it's going to just filter the information. It's just like a criteria for checking the growth or the diverse of what is going on your visuals. So married, you will be able to streamline the data that is related to married alone in all the visuals that you created, either by commute distance, either by some income, e- either by their income, or either by their gender. So it's going to just streamline only on the married, and just to be able to see the diversity of what they use their money to do, or probably they are the one that purchase the bike, and all the criteria. So slicer is just basically filtering techniques that is connecting your whole data together. So it's just like something that connect all the data, and basically it's just like a filtering technique. So when you click it, it filter based on the criteria that you want it to show. I don't know, maybe I'm able to answer that particular question. Is it possible to analyze WhatsApp chat or automatically get information from a log chat? Is possible to analyze WhatsApp chat, but this is it. Analysis is in two parts. We have the text part and we also have the number part, the numeric part. Depending on what you are doing, and there are times that Microsoft Excel cannot do more of text type. I think it's Python that can do more of text, and that's like a sentiment analysis. So they do more of text than number. So most of the time Excel cannot do more, like more advanced text, but it's something that is possible. You can get the log in your chart and everything, and it's just all the basics that we've been explaining that you put together to work on all those things. What is the difference between rows and column? Oh wow, that's a question. So let me click on this. Okay, let me click on this too. So this is rows. Rows is this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this is rows here, while column is this B, C, D. So this D downward is column, this C downward is column, this gender is a column, while this E also is a column. This downward is column, while this vertical, yeah, this vertical is column, while this horizontal is row. So I don't know if the person that asks understand that the vertical axis, all these vertical are column, while this horizontal they are the rows. So we can try and connect all the pivot table. Yes, that's what we did here. I connected all the pivot table that I did pivot table 2, pivot table 1. Okay, this pivot table 1, pivot table 2, pivot table 3, 4. Then I try to connect them together by creating a dashboard here. And you can see this is pivot table 1, 2, 3, and 4. So I try bringing them together on this plain sheet. So that's just the beauty of a dashboard. Then also try to create a slicer that you can use to filter through them. I don't know if I'm able to answer that question. Okay, somebody is also answering. Row is horizontal while column is vertical. So all those ABC, they are vertical with their column, while those 1, 2, 3, they are the rows. So I mean, can we connect them together on the slicer? Yes, you can connect everything together, but I think the maximum it can connect is 3. So you can see that it's not taking effect in the fourth one. It's not showing this fourth one. So it's only 3. So anytime you want to create a pivot table, just make sure you create only 3. You can make the last one to be bigger so that everything will rhyme. So it can only create 3 at once. So that's why this one is not taking effect. So when you are building your own, just try to make your criteria to be 3, not 4. So that's what I did here. And this is how okay, maybe the person did not see. So the way you do it is by clicking on this, and you will see. Okay, if I click on this now, let me click on insert. Is it insert? There's a way we always connect it. I did the connection before. I don't know, maybe the person take note of that. It's not showing here again. But you can actually connect it. If you did not you will see that my own, if I click on married now, it's taking effect. If I click on single, you can see that there is a change. So if I click on high school, you can see that there is a change. If I click on high school, you can see that there is a change. So if I okay, let me click on married and let me click on high school here. You can see that something is happening. Let me say partial high school. So it's depending on, if you can also check homeowners and if yes or no. So this is just like process of connecting your dash. Like if you did not connect it, it won't be taking effect in everything. Yeah, you have to create more than one pivot table to make a dashboard. You can't use only, if you are using a single pivot table, that shows you don't need a dashboard. You can just use pivot table alone without even creating a dashboard if you know that you only want to create a single pivot table. So you don't need to take it further by creating a dashboard, just stop at that pivot table. But if you are proceeding to create a dashboard, you have to create more than one pivot table. It must be like two or three to make it. Then at times it may not be full of visuals. It may even be like you are trying to add a number. I'm going to try to do that using Power BI. You are going to see that most of the time it may not be all visuals. You may even add numbers to your dashboard depending on what you are trying to do. So there is a change only one pivot table. There's not, it's not actually one. It's only if there is a it's only if it has disconnected. It's not always, it's not one. If it's showing one, that shows it has actually disconnected. So now we can actually try to make, let me see. So we need to create a connection. So I'll create another connection now. So I'll just click on this insert, then look for slicer. Okay, we already have it. So okay, this is it here. You can see this thing called report connection. So this is the report connection. So I have to click on all of them. So this is it now. I've This is for pivot one, pivot two, and pivot three. So I've tried to click on them, then I will just click OK. So once I click OK, so anytime I click on this, you see that the effect will be taking, like it will be taking effect. Can you see now that everything is blank without anything? That shows it's taking effect in all of them. So if I click married, you see that everything is back. And if I click single, you can see all of them is actually taking effect. So it's taking effect in all of them. If you are taking notes, it's taking effect in all of them. The rows and columns on pivot table, how will you know the exact things to put on the rows and column to get the results right? This is it. In data analysis process, there is not always right and wrong approach. The only thing is, if there is a problem that you want to solve, most of the time when there is a problem, you have to tailor your solution to solve the problem, right? So what we will do, in this data set, our goal is purchase bike. So we are trying to check based on each. It's just something that you can think on your own. Okay, now we want to know those that purchase bike, yes or no. So now you can do it based on region, you can do it based on commute distance, you can do it based on home owners, you can do it based on occupation, you can do it based on education, you can do it based on income. You see that from here I did this based on distance. That's why it's showing this distance. I put purchase bike and count of purchase bike, and it's based on distance. I also did here. You can even do different things apart from this. I did this based on region, and I did this one based on age group. So you can even explore by using any of, it's just something that you can try out, not specifically what I did. Even you can take this data up and do it in another way. So your goal here is to check for people that purchase bike. Then you can pick any scenario of your choice, just trying to solve that. So that's just how it works. So you, but most of the time, if the project comes in, or the work comes in, they presenting you a problem statement. So at times you have to tie your, you have to tailor your solution to solve the problem. But in this scenario, we are trying to check for people that purchase bike, and we are trying to pick some scenario, like some of the features that can tell us that we can really know the numbers of people that purchase bike or not. So that's just it. So any more question before I end the call? So I think you can still continue on the Telegram group. So if you have question, just drop it on the Telegram group. I'm going to respond to them. So thanks for joining the call tonight. So do have a great night rest. Bye.